Hey, good afternoon. It's Bob from Trade Genius. It's I guess the 12th of November already. It's Saturday. It's just a beautiful day, and so I think I'm gonna do some more outside videos here until the weather turns here for us. So I apologize. I don't have a screen to block the sun on the side of my face, but at any rate, I wanted to talk a little bit about American exceptionalism. That word gets thrown around a lot, and most people do not know really what it means. And a lot of people think, oh, America is arrogant, and America thinks they're exceptional, meaning they're better than everybody else. But it means not that at all. And really, the genesis of American exceptionalism is, came with the founding documents, because we were the first nation that created a constitution where the government served the people versus the people serving the government. And that's really the genesis behind American exceptionalism, is that there was a notion where people were free and that the laws were there to serve the people versus the vice versa. And I think this election kind of bore some of that out. People pretty much were at the end of their rope of government, and the people who controlled the reins of government have really used it to their purposes, and really were destroying vast swaths of our nation's human resources. And the other thing is about American exceptionalism is the way our government is structured. You hear a lot of people talk about democracy. Well, America is not a democracy. America is a republic. And within that republic is that we have what's called a representative democracy, meaning that we vote people to act on our behalf. And they have the latitude of not totally taking everything that we put them in to do. And that's why there's elections, and that's why there's impeachments, to be able to take those people back out of office. And the other thing that we built into the systems are the checks and balances in our system. Most people complain, especially those who aren't in power, that we can't get anything done. Well, the American system was designed with that precisely in mind. And the reason why we have the three levels of government is that we have in the way we set up the Congress is that we have the House of Representatives, which was designed around what we call just the hot temper of the moment. Those are the people closest to the people, and they can get turned very fast. So they're the weather, and the Senate's more like the climate. And 1/3 of the senators are up for vote at any given time, and they're supposed to be a little bit more of a deliberative body. And in addition to that, the Senate went ahead and voted themselves in a 60 vote for a filibuster, although that's not enshrined in the Constitution. And so you can, what it's really designed for is to have and to avoid what's called the tyranny of the majority, where 50.1% of the population can dictate to the rest of the population. And in fact, if you look at this election, only 25% of the people voted for Donald Trump. Well, and you can say the same thing. Only 25% of the people voted for Hillary Clinton. And so if you went by that, and then also if you went by where the people voted, is that there was a map that I saw today where 11% of the country's landmass would control the rest of the nation. And that's not right. And the founding fathers, again, were very wise in creating what they called the Electoral College. And that's how America came into being in the first place. These people knew right away that big centralized population centers can control everything else. So they said, hey, we want the states to have a say, have a right, and also to spread the power. And it bore out in this election. If you wanted to see a nation get destroyed, get rid of the Electoral College, and then you have California and New York and one other state, and they can control the entire country, and that's just not right. So that's part of the electoral. That's part of it, which created the exceptionalism. And then the other thing that came about from it, and really it has a lot to do with just the notion of our geography. we really had no natural enemies. You know, as we move forward, the nations that controlled this country, you know, Spain, France, uh, the British, the Russians really didn't. You know, all were foreign powers that colonized the land, and as people moved into it, they just basically voted by building houses. And you know, the English couldn't win in the war. The French were broke, so they sold out. The Spanish were essentially broke, and then they lost to Mexico, and then the people just kept moving west. The Russians sold out Alaska because they were broke. And so that's how America came into being. But they had this notion of manifest destiny. Anybody can get ahead. People can own land. And then we had the, you know, the notion of a meritocracy. And so those are the things that really brought America together. And then a lot of people did, you know, made a decision, especially after World War II, is that America really was as much of an idea as a people. And so people came to this country with the idea of hey, I can make it and I can be anything I want. You know, you can't go, I don't think, anywhere else in the world, start poor, start uneducated, educate yourself, come up with an idea, work hard, and either in your generation or the next generation become a millionaire or a billionaire. Nowhere else does that work. There's too many entrenched interests that stop you. And I think that notion came out also in the election too, is that, you know, it changed. The nature of the immigration changed. The nature of the way the elites treated the people changed. And I think people just had this overwhelming sense that, you know, we weren't exceptional anymore. We were just becoming like every other country. And so I just wanted to just bring that out to people, because I get this question thrown at me a lot. Oh, you guys think you're so exceptional. Like, you really don't know what the word means in that context. So I just want to share that with everybody else. Anyway, got a lot of things to say this weekend. I'll come back with some more videos. Appreciate you guys listening to me. Next week in the market is going to be just absolutely incredible. I mean, this last week was a wonderful week to make a lot of money, but there's some, you know, some big shifts that are continuing to happen, and I'm going to talk about those in a little bit. Thanks. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.